All right, so here's Turtle Island. This is Google Earth, and I'm going to give a quick tour of coal mining on the eastern slopes. So the first coal mine in Alberta was actually at the site of present-day Lethbridge, and was started by the Northwest Coal and Navigation Company. And their original business plan was to ship coal via the Oldman River to Medicine Hat, which was one of the first major settlements with the arrival of the railway. That didn't work because the flows of the river could not support year-round shipping, so they built a railway. So yeah, with that, I would just like to frame us in the Oldman River watershed. The Oldman flows headwaters are the eastern slopes, some of them coming from across the Medicine Line near Chief Mountain and Waterton, and Castle Mountain or Castle River, Crow's Nest River, and the Oldman River itself. And I'll just zoom out and say that these mountains on this side of the green line are the Alberta eastern slopes of the Rocky Mountains. The Rocky Mountains extend all the way down to Colorado and all the way north into northeastern BC. And yeah, there is a pretty predominant coal seam all the way along the front ranges of the Rocky Mountains. And I'm going to give you a tour of some of those locations. Like I mentioned, the first coal mine was in Lethbridge, but soon after that, many small-scale coal mines popped up in the eastern slopes. One of them was, sorry for the quick movements, was in Turtle Mountain, the site of the Frank Slide in 1903. But yeah, Hillcrest Mountain also had some underground coal mines, and there was also some on this peak, Hastings Peak. These are three scars from historical coal mines, relatively small scale in the scheme of things that we'll look at today. Just zooming out, one of the larger open pit, more industrial sites that operated from the 1960s to the mid 80s is Tent Mountain. So you can see Tent Mountain here. How these mines work is they do this high wall mining, which blasts all the rock down into this pit where it's filled with water, which is used to wash the coal. And then the coal is separated from other waste rock, and that overburden has to be pushed somewhere. So you can see at Tent Mountain this large kind of area that's not the specific coal mine. This is where that overburden has been pushed off and spread out over the years. So I'm going to use the Google Earth time-lapse imagery. Unfortunately, it goes from 1984 to 2022, and Tent Mountain shut down in 1983. So we're just going to go on the other side of the Continental Divide here to Corbin and the Coal Mountain coal mine, and I'm going to turn on this time lapse. And this is what 40 years of coal mining looks like on Coal Mountain. This site is no longer operating as far as I know. But yeah, we'll go to show you some active coal mines just on the west side of the Continental Divide in the Elk River Valley. So if you drive Highway 3 towards Fernie, you can see this Elk View mine, which is operated by Elk Valley Resources, formerly owned by Teck. Yeah, this is one of 4 open pit coal mines here. We'll just go north a bit up the Elk River Valley, which what is and was a very spectacular and abundant nature-filled valley. This is Line Creek coal mine, and you can see that the rock getting pushed away, the mountain starting to be opened up, and that coal removed. I'll just quickly turn this off, and this will give us a more high definition view of this coal mine, which is actually not as good as I thought. I'm going to put that back on and go up to Fording River. And so what I want to highlight here is down this mountainous valley. This is the headwaters of one of the tributaries to the Fording River. And you can see as this coal mine expands, they're pushing all this overburden, and they actually fill in this creek valley with overburden. And at some point in the mid 2000s, they artificially moved that creek so they can continue to push that overburden away. And I'll just say that currently these mines have caused much known selenium contamination due to their overburden in the Elk River Valley. But they're also at the moment negotiating with the provincial BC government to expand these mines even larger. And you can see that the Fording River flows directly through this coal mine, and all these other creeks and areas are, let's just zoom in here. Those are 30 huge dump trucks moving that overburden, spreading it around while they remove the coal. And here's a settling pond. This is high danger work. Here we can see the railway or the coal cars and the coal being moved out via railway. And then this coal gets shipped to the west coast and put on barges and is sold to foreign markets. You can see there's quite a large operation here. Here's a bunch of old, I don't know what that is, but anyway, in the interest of time, I'm going to move on to Grassy Mountain. So I'll just zoom out here, and you can see wow. So this is Green Hills. This is where they have drilled numerous test sites to map out that coal so they can start blowing up this mountain and removing the coal as well. These mountains will be gone if these coal mines continue to grow. So I'm just going to now go back over on the other side of the Continental Divide to the Crow's Nest Pass. So there's been numerous underground and historic, small scale in the scheme of things, historic coal mines. We have the Leach Collieries, we have the Bellevue Underground Mine, we have the Frank Slide. But just over here is the proposed Grassy Mountain coal mine. So this was a historic, or in the pre-1960s, there was a relatively small operation compared to what we just saw, but you can see these scars on the mountain where they dragged a drag line down the mountain and pulled out coal. And I'll just, I can turn these off, but you can see the scars that are already here from coal mining. But the proposed Grassy Mountain coal mine, so the red area was the original mine footprint that was rejected by the Joint Review Panel in 2021, and the yellow is the new coal or Grassy Mountain footprint. And there will be if this gets approved, which we hope it doesn't, there would be a large conveyor from the yellow out past the golf course to this area here, and there would be a tipple, which I'll show you a picture of, and a big figure 8 railway line here, and basically this would be covered in coal dust. I can't believe when we look at what we just saw in the Elk Valley and imagine this just being covered in black coal dust, it makes absolutely no sense. So just for some more Alberta examples, I'm going to take us north. So yeah, that coal seam, you can see these coal mines in the Elk Valley here, and then there is low quality coal in Alberta all the way through the Livingston, up through Canmore had historic coal mines. And now there's proposed coal mines in these areas west of Rocky Mountain House and Sundre. And then I'll show you where there have been historic coal mines here in Alberta. So this is called the Coal Spur. This was a railway that was made in the early 1900s that connected to the Yellowhead Railway. So I'm just going to turn that time lapse back on. And so just, some of these coal mines existed and were small scale in pre-1960, from like 1910 through the Great Depression, boom bust cycles, and were then closed in the 60s. And then there was another coal boom in the early 70s, when many of these were expanded, and they've been, yeah, but you can see the forestry operations that come first before the coal mining. So that's just some of it. I'm just going to go up here to Luscar. This is now, or like was a historic coal mine in the early 1900s, then was basically demolished, became a ghost town, and then was restarted again. Is now shut down. And then just in here is Mountain Park and Coal Valley. That name should show up again. But yeah, this Mountain Park coal mine. And here there's a, the McLeod River flows out of here, and they're currently dealing with excess levels of that exceed the levels of healthy selenium in a river, and they're actively trying to remediate these sites. So I'll just reorientate us to north, and just go up to go to Hinton. So I'm going to turn this time lapse off just quickly so you can see what it currently looks like. Oh yeah, this is the Vista coal mine. I believe this is Vista. And then we'll go north a bit more to Grand Cache. So Grand Cache was built to be a coal mining town. And there's this coal mine, CTS Coal, right on the banks of the Smoky River. This is what would be in the heart of the Crow's Nest Pass. It would look something like this. We have the coal mountain mine face here, and then we have this the tipple and the sorting area, and then there's also a coal-fired generating station here, what's now been converted to natural gas, but there's still mining coal here that is sold to Asian markets, and you can see legacy coal mines here. I admit I don't know what those ones are called. And then so that's what coal mining looks like in the eastern slopes. I just want to give you another example of what coal mining looks like, or did look like, in the prairies on a large scale. So this is Wabamun Lake. There's 2 or 3 coal-fire electricity generating stations here that were built in the 80s. And just I'm going to let this play, and you can see what that looked like over the last 40 years until they were shut down in 2018, I believe, or not shut down, but converted to natural gas. They're no longer burning coal, which is what you can see here is the coal mining expansion that fed the coal-fire electricity generating stations that have now been converted to natural gas. More down here. So this is just outside Edmonton, and caused a lot of air quality concerns with the wind blowing west. You can see there's the city of Edmonton here. Another coal mine to the north. Wow. And then one final example is the Sheerness, which is got to find Hannah here. Not, oh, there we go. And then this is, wow, we're really taking off here. So with that concludes my tour. I hope you learned some things. Needs to be shorter and more concise. But yeah, let me know what you thought about it. What did I miss? What could I skip? Would appreciate your comments and feedback, and I look forward to doing more of these on other land uses and continuing to improve this coal story being told on the eastern slopes. But I'm excited about using this to advocate for new forest management policies, because the old man is under severe stress, and this is what's going on in its headwaters. Let me just zoom in here. There's the Old Man River. I'm just going to let this play, and then I'll end it here. That used to be healthy, intact forest. It used to be healthy wildlife habitat. It used to be healthy fish habitat. And it could be again if we stop this madness. Thank you.